Hello gorgeous, my name is Jen. Thank you so much for being here. In this video, I'm going to show you a technique that I like to use to decrease the amount of creasing in the under eye. I know that that's something that a lot of people battle with, and it's very easy to fix. If you like this video at the end, I would really appreciate if you subscribe and leave me a comment. If this is something that you're interested in, keep on watching. When I do my makeup off camera, this is the order. I do my eyes first, then my foundation, and lastly my under eyes. The reason being is because I have rosacea. And if I do that, if I follow those steps while I'm filming, then it's very distracting for the camera, because as the video progresses, my rosacea reacts with the lights that I have, and it gets worse and worse. So it would be very distracting. So that's why right now I have my base on, but I left this side, I left the under eyes untouched. The number one tip that I have is to make sure that your face and your under eyes are hydrated. I like to use this for my under eyes. This is Embryolisse. This has worked for me for many years. I don't have dried under eyes, but I do like to go with a little bit of extra hydration. Now, there's such thing as overhydrating the under eyes, which can result in the concealer or corrector to slide and not to be absorbed completely by the skin, which could be a hot mess at the end. Having prepped the under eye area, I go in with concealer. I don't have any dark under eyes, but I do have rosacea. I find that with my concealer, it's enough to cover my rosacea, so I just do that. The second tip that I have is to not go with too many layers of product. That's why I don't wear foundation all the way to the bottom of my eye. Now, if I wear foundation all the way up here, I will not be wearing any concealer. I don't wear concealer every single time I wear foundation, but again, when I wear concealer, I don't cover this area with the foundation. There are a million correctors in the market today. I have tried a few, but once I found the ones that work for me, I kind of stopped there and just enjoy it. Depending on the foundation that you use or even the skincare, you have to find the one that works for you. I have here 2 brands and 3 shades. These are the ones that I have been using for years. This NARS, this is called the Radiance Cream Concealer, and this one I've been using for about a year and is lovely. The foundation that I'm using now is NARS Longwear Foundation, and on the shade Fiji. If I want to use one of these two from NARS, it really depends on how bright I want my under eye to be. So keeping in mind that my shade is Fiji on the foundation, I have, let's see, I have it upside down. I can either use vanilla or creme brulee. So those 2 shades. But today I'm going to use the Dior Forever Skin Corrector in N1. This is the way the applicator looks. It's very big. And keeping in mind that I don't have dark under eyes and that I also have mature skin, I have to be careful on the way that I apply. The last thing that I want to do is have my under eye looking very heavy, because we're going to use corrector and then we're going to use powder. I use it straight from the applicator because this is my personal one. If I was doing makeup on someone else, then I would not apply it directly on the skin. So let's see. This is the way that I apply it. And keep in mind that I do have my rosacea right now, because of the lights, is going all the way up my under eye. I only have very little space where it doesn't get red. So I dot. I do 1, 2, 3. And the same thing with the other eye. 1, 2, 3. I use this brush from Pat McGrath, which is made specifically for concealer, and it's this shape. This shape is great because it allows you to go all the way in the inner corner of the eye. And I go in with tapping motions, making sure that I'm very gentle, because the skin in the under eye is the most delicate skin from your body. So we have to really take care of it. So I go in tapping motions, and I'm gonna go ahead with a second coat of the concealer, but focusing this time on the rosacea that is peeking through right here. I go again right here and here to brighten, and this time to be able to buff those other 3 spots. This synthetic brush, it's a little big and it has a round top, so this is what I'm going to use now. And in order to cover my rosacea, I'm going to go very lightly and gently, and making sure that everything is covered and buffed away. Now that the under eye is completely covered and it's the same shade as the rest of the face, maybe a little lighter, we can do 2 things. Usually when the weather is not super hot and is nice and cold, I don't wear any powder under my eyes, because my under eye, it's not oily. So when I get those little natural creases, all I do is take my ring finger and tap a little bit and I'm done. However, if you have oily under eyes, or if the weather is really hot, I will go in with a powder. This is the powder that I use for my under eyes. It's from Pat McGrath. It's called Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. And the brush that I use is this one from Surat. This is a very fine powder made just for the under eyes. So what I do to apply the powder is to look up and tap. I tap first, and then I sweep if there is any leftover. I like to look up because if you apply your shadow, if you apply the powder like this, we have natural creases in the eye. It's part of being human. So we are not trying to completely erase the folds of our under eye. What we're trying to do is not to have that deposit of product in those creases. So in order to avoid that, we have to look up. That way the fold, it's completely flat, and then apply the powder. In the past, I used to bake once in a while, and it resulted in me getting a very heavy look on my under eye, and instead of being bright and more natural looking, I always ended up looking so tired and very dry. So I stopped baking, and I avoid using a lot of powder in this area and also in the crease of my eye. Because I'm already 40, it's easier for the product to be deposited here and here. So what I'm trying to avoid is have a very heavy look under my eyes. I hope you find this video helpful. All the information of the products that I used today will be in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. do my usually when I do my makeup off camera, this is the order. I do there are a million foundation